watch the light. A quick discussion and try to come to a appointment of a vacant city council seat, this one over here. So, you folks kind of know where I'm at on this, but why don't you start with your thoughts and where you think we should go, and let's do that. Who wants to start? Ben?
I don't have much.
You will
Sorry.
say something.
I don't have much. I think all the people that came and presented interest in the position could provide, quality input on the council. I don't really have a personal preference, to be honest. I think the two that had previously served on the council would be excellent. Those, if anything at all, those two would be my, I guess, 1A and 1B recommendations. Other than that, I didn't have any problems or foresee anything. I think any of those candidates would be valuable additions.
All right, thank you, Ben. Lots of real, probably some real quality there. Community people that interested in civic government, which is really neat. And we'll get more exciting as we get through this next year and into the voting season in the fall of '22. So, anyone else? Somebody?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
So I also was very impressed with all of the applicants that we had. It was really great to see so many show interest in general, because we don't normally have that even for election cycles, let alone appointments. One that two stood out for me. One being former Councilor Brian Quigley, who has, I think, a decade of experience or so on the council. And, the only reason he stepped down was for, health reasons, like he had stated, which he said are cleared up. So he's ready to serve again. But then also Peter Bellis, he was the one that has like all that economic development experience, serving on boards like for their economic development corporation, Chamber of Commerce, an advisor to the city that he lived in, Santa Clarita Economic Development Department. And then, he just so much experience that it was hard to not pay attention to that as well, considering the growth that we're probably going to be going through here as things turn around for the economy. But with so many of us being still sort of new counselors, I lean towards former Councilor Quigley because of that vast experience that he brings, and his continued involvement that he's had regardless of paying attention to meetings, so he knows what's going on. I think that it's something that us counselors probably need to help bring a different perspective, a seasoned perspective to the council. It's great to have fresh ideas, but it's also really good to have someone that has history. So, we have that with you, but also, someone else that has the history too.
Be nice not to be the only ancient one here, but still, no. Youth has energy. That's become way more apparent to me than even a few years ago. Counselor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I kind of echo that sentiment. My first choice is Brian Quigley for that very reason, that with our current council, we are just such a young council. And I mean in terms of how long we've been on the council. And so that institutional knowledge is kind of lacking there. And the fact that Brian Quigley wants to come back and help us with that, specifically with us picking a new city manager, I feel like is pretty important. So that's my vote.
Well, then, if, there anything else? Anyone have anything else? Brian was my choice, too, partly because I've known him a while, long while. We worked together, and he does have a lot of institutional knowledge, longtime member of the community, and looking at some of these other folks, wow. Yeah, there's some real talent out there. But if I were to formally appoint Brian Quigley to that vacant council seat, could I get a vote of affirmation on that? All in favor?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can vote, but like verbally, I would support your decision. I think that there were a lot of great candidates, and so again, I love serving, but I also hope to see some of them run too, just because it's, yeah, they're so good.
We have open seats on our boards too, so
Oh, yeah.
there's lots of, if anyone out in the audience is listening, there's lots of ways that you can participate. Even on our planning commission, there is a spot for a high school student to participate. You're not a voting member, but even to participate on there. So there's lots of ways to stay engaged and to affect change in the community.
Well, the city administrator told me here recently that there might be a vacancy or two on the budget committee this next spring.
Yeah, we've got a new vacancy on the Planning Commission. There's vacancies on the Parks and Recreation Board and the Budget Committee also.
Lots
Yeah.
of opportunities then to serve, sure.
Yeah, and following this, after the appointment, we'll reach out to everyone who did apply and let them know we do have the vacant positions on the boards and committees and about the election next year also, and just to stay tuned, because that process doesn't start until June, so we have a little time there.
Okay. So we're good. Should we take a break and reconvene at 7?
Yep,
Sound
that sounds good.
All right. Thank you, folks. Okay, we're good there.